the office of the party leader at Capitol Hill, those who work there, the staff of Raila Odinga at Capitol Hill gave us 3 bales of unga. The chairperson of this disaster response committee, Senator Eddie Okech, gave us Kenya shillings 300,000. And you will remember that the SG of the Red Cross told us that the highest priority in terms of the needs of the displaced persons was resources for them to be able to seek alternative shelter. Honorable Nasra also added us 80,000 in cash, 150 Kenya shillings in cash from Honorable Peter Imwatok. Honorable Mishi Mboko, MP, Kenya shillings 50,000. The Honorable Catherine Omanyo, the women rep for Busia, 250 kilograms of sugar, 100 kilograms of soap, 100 kilograms of cooking oil, 100 kilograms of maize flour, and 20 dozen toilet paper. The Nairobi County Assembly leadership, who are represented here by the majority leader and the majority whip, Honorable Ogeto, gave us 100 mattresses, 120 blankets, 300 kgs of sugar, and Honorable Maurice Ochieng, who is the chair of the health committee in the Nairobi County Assembly, is here, the MCA Mountain View. He has just brought us 10 bales of maize flour. The members of parliament from Nairobi, as we had announced earlier, including the Honorable Tim Wanyonyi, who's here, contributed 2.5 million shillings for the initial visit to both Embakasi South and to Mathare, and also the food that was sent to the MP for, is it Kamkunji? No. Starehe, yes. The MP for Starehe got one lorry of flour, Honorable Mwago. Then we have received a donation from Peter Wandera, who's here. He ran for MCA in Dagoretti South, and he has given us 3 bales of maize flour. ODM always appreciates its members when they come out as strongly as they have. And in fact, in the history of this party, as far as I can remember, that certificate has only been issued once. And I will say it was issued to the Honorable Member of Parliament for Mathare. So all these people will be joining that very gracious list. And I want to take this opportunity to urge members of the party from across the country. This national office is a receiving center. So if you look at the names on this list, and I don't mean to beat our own trumpet as Nairobians, but you can see it is very heavy with contributions and donations from people in the party from Nairobi. So we want to be very clear that we have had a conversation with Honorable Raila Odinga, the party leader, and he wants these donations now to be mobilized at county branch level, that we will be ranking the counties regarding how much, depending on how much they have given us. As we have just read these names and the contributions out, Nairobi is by far the leading county in terms of donations to this very wonderful cause, followed by Migori and Mombasa County, where Mishimboko comes from. So we want to urge the other counties that now this food distribution or food donations will be mobilized through the ODM county offices. And we want to see convoys being flagged off from all these other counties. We want to see a convoy from Homa Bay, a convoy from Kilifi, another one from Kakamega. This headquarters is a receiving center and a distribution center. So we will be letting you know how that goes. But so far we are very grateful for everyone who has donated towards this very noble cause. At this particular juncture, allow me to welcome the chairperson of the Disaster Response Committee, who is also going to touch on the next steps in terms of the distribution network. And then you will be welcome to see the donations you have received. We are very open and transparent. We have encouraged in-kind donations, and that is why you will see our stores continue to be full with some of these items that we have read out here. We want to say that nothing beats preparedness. We must be prepared for these things because you can see even the forecast is that these rains will continue. And because of changing climatic patterns, we expect that the weather events that used to be extreme, that were stretched out, maybe would happen once in 20, 50 years, are now happening with greater regularity. So as the management of the city, and not just Nairobi, all across the country, there has to be now factored in the fact of climate change and unusual weather patterns and unusual rains, so that you prepare the people for such events. Number two, in terms of settlements along the riparian areas, the people of Nairobi are very cooperative. In fact, nobody wants to stay in the way or in a place that is dangerous to them. They are pushed mostly by the poverty levels and the economic situation that our people find themselves in. So there has been great cooperation. Initially, we were told that the riparian area would be cleared up to 15 meters of the high water line. But unfortunately, we have seen demolitions that are being carried out up to 30, 35 meters from the high water line. So what is happening is that there are some crooked elements within Nairobi and within the state that have taken advantage of this disaster to now settle scores. I've seen people demolishing schools that are nowhere near riparian areas. So we want the government, first of all, to tell us with certainty what is the distance that Nairobians must keep from the high water line. Is it 15? Is it 30? Is it 35? So that people do not, crooked elements do not take advantage of that. And we want to condemn in the strongest terms possible all of those who are taking advantage of this to essentially perpetuate a land grab in Nairobi. And because riparian areas are under the management of the county government, these are answers we will be demanding from Sakaja himself. So as your senator, that is exactly what I'm going to do. Immediately he's back from the US. I know he's in the US with the president. After he has visited Atlanta and the other nice places, we want him to come back to MATHARE and tell us where the riparian lands are. Sawa, swali ingine?
And I think I wanted to emphasize also that as a party in this intervention, we seriously hold the view that protecting riparian land cannot overshadow the idea of survival for those people who are there. If we are going to do demolitions, at least the government must clearly be able to develop alternative temporary shelter for those people who are affected, so that before you actually demolish, you can be able to, first of all, be able to accommodate them in a temporary structure. And even if there is cash for shelter, the way the government had said, let it be realistic, because even the 10,000 that is being said is not sufficient. And this is not according to us. This is according to experts, including Red Cross, that have actually diagnosed this problem and said that it's not sufficient to give families that are staying in Nairobi 10,000. We need to give them, actually, at the very least, 20,000 and above. So the alternative shelter is what we're advocating for before you actually be able to demolish anything.
Yeah, I think one of the last things to say about that is that you can see here the leadership of Nairobi. You can see MCAs drawn from various constituencies, wards. The member of parliament is from Westlands is here. We can confirm that up to today, the 10,000 shillings that was promised by William Ruto has not arrived for our people. I think it was part of the money that was used to hire that private jet to go to the US. Any other question? Yes, Sydney.
Now that you've mentioned that private jet.
No. Can you focus now?
On food, focus on food.
Yeah, the focus is there. Do you believe that some of the contingency team that has gone there, that money could be used?
Sydney, I want you to focus on the work that brought us here. Is there any other question other than Sydney's question on